tonight attended Butte Junior College. But before he got there, he had smoke in his eyes and he became a paratrooper. After junior college, he was a respiratory therapist for several years, and now he's a tour guide, just sort of jet-setting all around the world. And he comes back and tells us about those things every once in a while. Tonight, we will be doing project number 3. What's your story? You'll be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. The title of his story is What's Your Story? Help me welcome Jeff Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. By the way, smoke gets in your eyes. I just came back from Canada yesterday, and that place is burning up. Kamloops, which is, I don't know if you guys know where that is. You go Kelowna straight from here on up, and you go over a little bit. They have a rating of 1 to 10 for the smoke. They were 47. 47 out of 10 was, I mean, you couldn't hardly see the car in front of you. It was pretty bad. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Recently, a young couple moved into a neighborhood next to Bill and Jill, who've been living there for years. And they all had a fair amount of space around them. About a week after they were in there, Jill was sitting at her breakfast table, looking out the window, and saw her new young neighbor hanging her laundry. And she noticed that the laundry was dirty. Well, she said, Bill, look at our new young neighbor. She doesn't even know how to get her laundry clean. And Bill didn't pay too much attention, kept reading his book. Again, next week, here she is sitting at her breakfast table, looking out the window again, and here's her new young neighbor hanging her laundry, and she's hanging this dirty laundry. She says, Bill, look, our laundry. She has not learned how to get her laundry clean. Bill didn't pay much attention. Several weeks went by, and Jill's sitting at her breakfast table, looking out the window again, and sure enough, her neighbor's hanging up her laundry, but this time it's crystal clear, clean. The sheets are bright white, and she was so surprised, and she said, Bill, look, our new neighbor, she's learned how to get her laundry clean. I wonder what she learned. He said, well, I think I can help you with that, Jill. I said, really, pal? Well, while you were sleeping this morning, I got up and I washed all of our windows. Jill was a little embarrassed and realized that she had been passing judgment on the wrong person. And the moral of that story is we should not concern ourselves with someone else's laundry, and concern ourselves more with our own and not focus on them. Again, being judgmental. Bob was a Metro bus driver. He was been there 15 years. He was small of stature, maybe 5'5", with all of his clothes and shoes on and wallet in his pocket, 150 pounds. And he didn't have a whole lot of confidence in himself. And one day, on Monday, it happened to be a Monday, and he noticed this big American Indian guy, and he's coming to get on the coach. He's got kind of long, dark hair. He's about 6'8", he weighs 290 pounds. He comes on, and Bob turns to him to get the fare for the bus. And he looks at him and he says, Big John, no pay. Right? He was kind of intimidated. He didn't want to end up getting beat up because he had people to drive around, so he let Big John on. And he didn't feel so good, right? He wasn't sure what to do. And then next Monday, here comes Big John again. Big John gets on the bus. He looks at him for pay, and he goes, Big John, no pay. And this is really starting to bother Bob. He's got that small guy complex. He starts taking karate, judo. He's going to the gym. He's lifting weights. He's building his muscle. He's going to challenge Big John next time he gets on that bus. So a couple months later, he's ready. And here comes Big John. He says, let's get the fare. He says, Big John, no pay. He says, why Big John, no pay? He says, Big John have annual pass. So, Bob, the moral of that story, we tend to jump to conclusions very similar to being judgmental before we really know the whole story. I have a poem I found I just had to read. I tried to memorize it, but every one of these white hairs pulls out a memory cell, and it just doesn't work anymore. But it's a nice poem. It's called Judging Others. Sadly, we're always critiqued by the people that we know, by title or occupation, and by the possessions that we show. We judge by skin color or by awards received. We judge by church denomination and by what we believe. We're judged by what we spend or by what we give. We're judged by age and gender and by where we live. We're judged by our past and by our education, by the language that we speak, or by our nation. We evaluate cosmetically. We judge both fat and small. We judge by one's appearance. Fact is, we judge it all. Some judge because they're paid to, some judge intentionally. Some judge to build self-worth, some judge unwillingly. Beware, for there is only one who evaluates every strain and smudge. Good luck, amateur critics of humanity, when you face that judge. We've all been guilty of passing judgment on people. I'm sure we're all aware of it. I mean, we do it without even thinking about it. For the clothes they wear, or if they're tall or fat or skinny, or the house they live, the car they drive in, it's something automatic, and I've become very aware that the person I live with is completely not judgmental. When I meet groups of people now, and I have 45 of them with me for 3 weeks, you look at someone, and sometimes we make an immediate judgment of somebody, and then you get to know them and you find out it's something completely different. And it's just opened up worlds for me. I'm really happy, and I'd like to share the point to leave you with a question and a suggestion. What window are you looking through? And when you find yourself looking through that window, if you're being judgmental, be curious, because everybody has a story. Thank you.